Hello, 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 amazing people, and welcome to my Q&A today. I'm doing something new with my platform today. I'm allowing people to be able to call in if you want to anonymously and ask questions. If you want to, you don't have to say your name, you don't have to reveal who you are, but if you have a situation and you would like some advice, some input by me and the people in the comments, you can call in and you can do that. Hey, amazing people, come on in. I have a lot of people that inbox me, different questions. And I think that some of the questions that people are asking, it isn't just them that need, the information. You may have someone else that, has that same situation or experiencing the same things and they just need some guidance. But sometimes, and I feel like there's nothing wrong because, sometimes in life, we can be going through certain things. It doesn't just have to be ratchet relationships, but I get a lot of ratchet relationship questions, you know. So it just doesn't have to be, relationships. It could be friendships. It could really be anything that you want to call in about. And like I said, if you don't want to disclose your identity, you do not have to. Hey y'all. Hey, hey, hey. You don't have to, disclose your identity. Um One thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna try to, I'm trying out a few things, because I know it's about to come, to where I get my platform to a certain place that I want to do. So if Q&A goes good, I want to add that in, you know, starting August 1st, my show will be totally revamped. We're going to definitely, talk about the things that we've been talking about on a higher level, but my whole show will be revamped. I don't know if I'm going to call it I Said What I Said. I don't know if I'm going to call it I'm Chalakemia. I don't know what I'm going to call it yet. But that is in the works. It's a lot of things that are in the works with my platform right now. I'm so blessed. I feel so amazing about it. I'm excited about, what's to come. But I want to see if Q&A is something that we can add to the platform. So hey y'all, so I don't know who's going to be my first caller tonight, but Instagram, thank you for joining me tonight. I have the call-in number. Well, I thought I had the call-in number down there. Hold on. Do y'all see the call-in number? Pin. Okay. So the call-in number is pinned on Instagram for anybody that wants to call in. And I'm going to pin the number up here at the top so people can call in, and I'm gonna open up the phone line. So really, like, this is call in and ask Shalakemia anything you want to ask me, anything you want to ask. You know, I Said What I Said is a good name. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna definitely see about that. But okay, you see it. Okay. So come on, we're not gonna be shy tonight. We're not gonna be shy, y'all. Now, like I said, you can call it anonymously and ask whatever it is that you want to ask. So I'm just waiting for the phone to ring. Even if you want to ask in the comments, ask in the comments. You know, hey 215 on Instagram. Thank you, James. Mm, okay, real resurrected. I'm surprised. I'm surprised nobody called in yet. As many questions as y'all have, as many scenarios that y'all be having with, these ratchet relationships. I've been in some ratchet relationships too. You know, you should put I Said What I Said on a shirt and a mug. I will buy it. Okay, Crystal. Okay. First call. First call. Hello, caller. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm amazing.
This is my first time calling in to your show and even hearing about your show.
Okay.
So,
Welcome.
but I had a question.
Okay.
How do you feel about dating a man that's still married? Um, who's
Absolutely not.
he's going through a divorce. They're not in the same house.
Nope.
No.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Let me tell you something. At the end of the day, to me, separated is still married. If you do not take the necessary steps, that's just like if I was married, right? And I'm going
Mhm.
through a separation with who I'm with. I'm not going to go and open a door with someone else. I don't feel like that's fair. I wouldn't want someone to come and open a door with me. You see what I'm saying? Because separated, you are still tied to that person. And I just want to do a disclaimer. This is just my view. I'm not a therapist, I'm not a counselor. This is just my view. My view on that situation is me and this person cannot build anything. Okay. We can't build anything because you still have ties to someone else. You are still married to someone else. I can't start a business with this man. I cannot buy a house with this man. I can't even marry this man. So what are we doing?
Mm.
What are we doing? I'm just saying. But
Mhm.
but a lot of people will settle for that kind of thing because they don't want to be alone. And some people will settle for someone like that. And it's not just men, it's women too. But people will get in those type of situations, and they're thinking of right then and there self gratification. They're thinking of, how that person makes them feel. They're not thinking about future things. You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
They're not thinking
Mhm.
about this person is still soul tied to somebody else. They still belong to somebody else. This is why I always tell people that come to me with this question that that person needs to be responsible and do what they need to do to go ahead and put that behind them. It's not fair to, anybody else.
Interesting. Oh, okay. I don't have anything to say.
Okay.
It's the first time I've ever did anything like this, so I don't know.
Okay.
Um, I
Is
don't
that
know. Of course, I feel like I'm in love now. Probably the best person I've ever dated,
okay?
of course.
Okay.
And I'm not sure how to get out of it now.
Yeah, I mean it's we're human, you know. We're human. I definitely don't want you to like beat yourself up about it or anything like that. We all make mistakes. We all get into situations that, we should have not gotten because of the way someone makes us feel. But we have to think of, I'm gonna ask you a question, like, do you want to get married one day?
Yeah.
And at this point, he can't even marry you because he's married to someone else. You see what I'm saying? So when just for example, like when I get into a relationship with somebody, I'm in a relationship and I'm thinking about, okay, we're going to build, you know what I mean? We're going to grow, we're going to build an empire, we're going to get married one day, you know what I mean? We may extend our family. That's how I think. I'm not sure if you think that way, but you can't even do those things with this person because why didn't this person detach themselves before they got with you?
Right.
And it's hard. I mean, it's like your back is up against the wall because you love this person. I mean, are they taking any initiative to get a divorce?
Um, yes, they're in the process. But it's still so new. I guess I didn't really plan to like fall
Mm-hmm.
for this person.
Right.
Um, it kind of happened. I don't know, but yes, they're in the process.
How long have you been with them?
Um, for 6 months.
Hmm. And what process in 6 months? What process could he be at right now?
Um, I guess they filed. It's not really paperwork, but they're going through. I guess the mediation process,
Mm,
and because it's supposed to be less expensive.
mm, wow. Marriage, and then you also run the risk of married people get back together.
Of what?
I said you run the risk of married people get back together. I'm not saying that in that situation, but that's something you have to think about. I've seen it. I've seen people separate and go date other people and then come back and get back together. I can't tell you
And
like what this.
that's happened before in their marriage. So I
Okay.
mean, but he
So
says like never again, and this is it. And she moved out, and now he moved into a different house.
let me ask you a question. I get these emails all the time. And my first question when I get an email is, do you know your worth? And I'm asking you, do you know your worth?
And I'll say I used to.
Okay.
Um, like
Okay.
I've never. I can't even believe I'm in this situation.
Okay. So
Um,
so that's why, because you don't
I'm
you don't.
embarrassed about it, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. Right. But that's the issue. You don't know your worth right now. So basically you have gotten to a situation, that makes you feel good because you weren't making yourself feel good. So you got in a situation that made you feel good. And then, when we get in situations that make us feel good solely on that and we don't know our worth, you know, then it becomes a disaster really. Because now you love him, right?
Hmm.
You love him, and there was a situation before where they got back together. And then he's telling you, well, never again. But how can you even trust that?
Well, we talked about that, and he said, just even if you're divorced, it doesn't mean you can't get back together.
I would have ran away from him. Soon as he said that, I would have ran away from him. And I'm
Why?
just I'm just being honest. Why are you putting that on the table? Even if you're divorced, you can get back together. That's not something you say to somebody. You don't say that. You don't say that. You don't. You don't.
Well, I think he was just saying that it's just a piece of paper.
But it's not just a piece of paper. It's not. And you know what? Um it's a shame that people look at it like just a piece of paper. Like marriage is ministry. Marriage is not just it's not boyfriend girlfriend. That's not what marriage is. I mean, would you feel comfortable if he was married to you and telling other women that, well, it's just a piece of paper? Would you appreciate that?
No.
Right. Right. I think any type of situations, like I said, we don't know our worth, and we're so intrigued with someone making us feel good as a person that we're not looking at the whole thing. But I'm saying from my point of view, I wouldn't deal with someone in that type of situation because my end goals for a relationship are different. I mean, are you going to wait around for him to get divorced?
No. And I told him I do have a time period with this, so
Well, what's the time period? Y'all been, well, when he met you, he was honest about him being separated, married.
yeah, he was. Well, I'll say he was somewhat honest when I really think about it, because he said he had filed the papers, and then when I asked to see the papers, then he said he was reading it the other day, and that it's a mediation instead of a filing.
Hmm. Yeah.
So that's why I'm kind of reconsidering everything.
Okay. I mean, at the end of the day, you're a grown woman, and that's your choice. But you have to also pay attention to the situation. A lot of people like, oh, they're separated. Mm-mm. Separated is not good enough, and that's just my opinion. That's just my view. Um. Mm-mm. Nope. What you mentioned you had a time period. So what is your time period to wait around for this divorce to be finalized?
Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't make sense, but I was just saying, like, if a year, if it's not like we don't have a date to finalize, I'm out of here. I guess she probably moved out in probably August. So,
Hmm.
and he obtained a lawyer in November. So, and we're here. We're in June, July, June,
Yeah.
and I don't know. I
You
just
you know one thing I had to tell somebody that asked me this about a week ago. I had to tell them that at the end of the day, God's not going to promise you somebody else's husband. Just not going to do that. Nope. Nope. Nope.
I
Nope.
was married before, and my ex husband married. They weren't cheating together, but what we took a couple years to divorce, and he married the woman that. Well, he was still married. They was dating.
Okay, so while y'all were getting a divorce, they were dating.
Hmm.
Hmm. I mean that still doesn't justify your situation or what's going on. I mean you can't. I mean you have to be like accountable for you. Like I don't know about that situation. What I'm saying is you have to get back to knowing your worth as a person, as a woman. And I know there's things that you want out of life. Are you going to get them out of the situation? How long do you have to wait?
So, what do you suggest I do?
Um. I can't really tell you what to do. What I can tell you is me, Shalakemia, I'm not dating someone that's separated. I've dated people that wasn't honest from the beginning and told me, didn't tell me. And then when I found out, I left. It was an immediate dismissal. Cause God did not promise me somebody else's husband. I'm sorry. They are still
Mm-hmm.
soul tied together. You see what I'm saying? Like they are still married. However you look at it,
Mm-hmm.
they are still married. So I think you have the answer. You wouldn't have called in if there wasn't some doubt inside of you. You wouldn't have called in and you would
Oh,
you
yeah,
would
there's lots of doubt. I mean, I'm not
right.
pleased or happy with myself. None of this.
Yeah,
I'm just not sure how
right.
this even happened, really. I mean, I know how it happened, but like, I
Yeah.
don't know how I fell into the trap.
Right. So that's when you have to kind of soul search yourself. Like, I got to get myself together. This ain't me. You're clearly saying that you're not this type of person. That's not who you are. You have to get back to you. You have to know your worth. You have to get back to loving you. You have to. It's urgent. Or you're going to be in situations you're not supposed to be in.
And then it's so weird. Ironically, all of a sudden I met this guy because I had just said within the last couple of days, I got to get out of this. I got to start talking to other people and just let him know I'm going to be seeing other people. And this guy was like everything that I wanted, that I had been, I know it sounds, anyway, been praying for. And I was like, you're kidding. Like, and now I feel like I'm tied up and my heart with somebody that's not available.
Right. Absolutely. But then do you see the cycle? Do you see how you're seeing this man, he's separated. And then you get to a point because you know deep down in your heart that it's not right. And you know it's not
Right.
for you. So then what you do is, you gonna start conversating with someone else knowing your heart is somewhere else. That's toxic. That's toxic. It's like you gotta cut it off. You can't just go and get somebody, and start talking to them to no, because that's not fair. You wouldn't want somebody to do that to you.
I told him.
You told him
I told the new person
that you were dealing with someone else.
and our situation.
Okay. It's still messy. It is. It's still messy. It's still do you even know what you look like on the phone with a guy or in person with a guy you just met, telling him, oh yeah, well, I'm dealing with this guy, he's separated, but they're still married and they're getting divorced. Do you even think do you even know what you look like saying that to him? Somebody you just met.
No,
That's a red flag.
I need to sit down. I don't know how.
You gotta get your life together. Mm-hmm.
But it was interesting because he was like, "What are you doing? You need to leave him alone immediately. He's not
Mm-hmm.
even available." I mean, it was
Right.
weird that he's the one that like told me. He was like, "You just met this awesome guy, me, and how does that like, how does that work?" And I'm like, I don't know.
Exactly. A man is sitting up here telling you,
I
like,
know.
you probably sounded weird to him though. He probably on the other phone like, what is going on? Like, I'm thinking I'm about to get to know this lady, and here she come with this other situation. Like, no, you definitely got to step back and get yourself together. Definitely, it's messy.
But that's why I'm calling in because this is such a weird situation.
Mm-hmm.
I know I need to get out of my first situation,
Yes.
but I don't even really want to talk to anybody else because I feel like I'm like tied to somebody else.
Mm-hmm. Talk to somebody else. The only reason you were talking to the new guys, you were trying to get over the other guy. That's the only reason why.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't do that. You can't do that either. We can't do that as people. We can't sit up and use other people to get over other people. It's not fair. It's messy.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. Because your intentions aren't genuine for him. You're using him to occupy your time so you don't think about the other guy. That's what you're doing.
Yeah, but men do it all the time.
That's your response. That men do it all the time. It's not right that anybody does it. What?
Well,
You're messy.
ooh, huh?
You're messy. Did you hear yourself? Men do it all the time. You cannot.
Yeah.
No, I'm not saying that men don't do it, but why is that your response to the situation? That's crazy. So you're sitting up here, right? And you're sitting up here in a situation that does not sit right with you. It does not sit right in your spirit. So what you go do is
Mhm.
go get somebody else, start talking to them, trying to get over this person. That's not fair. Would you want somebody to do that to you? You wouldn't want that done to you. So why would you do it to somebody else? And we can't sit up here and use the excuse, oh, men do it all the time. No. You gonna reap what you sow. You can't blame that on men. You gonna reap what you sow. So you need to fall back and figure out, what you got going on.
Mhm.
That's what you got to do. You know the decision you need to make. That young man you was talking to told you to. How many times somebody need to tell you?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, I plan on leaving the first guy alone. I just I don't know how to. I've never been in a situation like this, so I'm just really
You don't
talking
know
it
how
out.
to. What you mean you don't know how
It's
to?
it's really not who I am. I just I don't know.
What you mean you don't know how to leave him alone? Excuse me, you gotta, just let them know, like, hey, hit me up or call me when you get a divorce. I'm not comfortable with it, you know?
Mhm.
I mean, not like that, more in depth, but you really don't owe no huge explanation. Like, this is how I'm feeling right now. Go ahead and handle, your divorce and things like that. And then, if you see it in your heart, give me a call when it's over.
Mhm.
Yeah. But I hope you make the right decision by you. I hope that you spend some time. It does sound like you need to spend some time with you. No man, you need to spend some time with you, learning you, knowing your worth, and things like that. You have to, or you're going to keep ending up in situations like this.
Yeah, I agree.
You'll be okay though. As soon as you leave out, you get out of this situation and stuff like that. You won't be messy no more. You'll be okay. You know. The next situation, you'll know how to handle it. You'll know how to go about it. You learn from this, and apply this moving forward. You need to be
Yeah,
with
I
someone.
just feel like I really do need some a long time. I just don't know how to do that. And now I met this really great guy, and now I'm
You
like,
can be his friend though. Y'all can be friends. Let things, kind of fall where they're gonna fall, but heal from this other situation.
mhm,
And if your intentions was to just use him to get over this guy, then I wouldn't look at it like that. I wouldn't rush anything. Do you really appreciate that he's a good guy? Do you really like him? You see what I'm saying? Things like that. Are you really, really willing to get to know him for him? Those are questions that you have to ask yourself. Don't lead anybody on, and don't use anybody to get over anybody else.
yeah, I don't think that was my intention. I think I was just, meeting someone just to talk to, not necessarily jump into another relationship.
Okay. Well, you were talking to him. Okay. Well, be his friend. Heal, and do what you got to do to make things better for you. Okay. You okay?
Uh, yeah, I just have to make some decisions or stand on them rather.
Okay. Well, thank you for calling in. I gotta go. I got like 50 missed calls already. But
Okay, I appreciate it. It just helped me. So
absolutely.
I just hope I stand on it.
Okay. Well, I'm sure
Okay,
you'll make the
thank
right
you.
decision. Bye. Have a good
Oh,
evening.
bye bye.
Hmm. Ooh, baby, we started this show. That was groundbreaking. Hello, caller.
Hello, hello. How you doing? It's been a long time. How's everything?
Oh, everything's great. It's been a long time. Do I know you?
This is Funzel from a long time ago, kind of like when you first started off, you were on the radio station.
Oh, okay. When
It's been some time. You probably don't remember. But anyway, I was listening to the last caller. I really, really commend you on the information and the knowledge you were trying to give to her,
uh-huh.
even though she's actually not ready for it. It's sad that this happens many, many times. I'm going to say boys, not men, because men don't do stuff like this. You have grown men that get in relationships and they don't spend the time working on their marriage if something is broke, because no marriage is perfect. So when something comes up, two adults get together, they go to God and they work on it. The time he's spending with her is the time he needs to be repairing his marriage. And how can he,
You better
she
preach.
offer him anything that she's already given him everything? And she
Mm-hmm.
was saying something about waiting about a year. The longer she waits, the more she gets entangled and rooted into the situation. And
Mm-hmm.
going to him and saying, hey, I want out, or I need to don't do this, that's like talking to the enemy. You give the enemy your game plan, he's going to talk you right out of it. He's more stronger in the situation. He has the upper hand, excuse me, than her.
Mm-hmm.
And back what you said as far as loving yourself, I keep telling people that so much. As a woman or a man, but especially a woman, learn to invest the time and love yourself first and become whole as a person. If you can't turn around and learn how to love yourself, no one else can love you right, and you don't know what love looks like.
Right.
So when you actually, excuse me, meet someone and they actually are whole and you're whole, your world becomes theirs and you share each other. And if it doesn't work out, you know, it hurts, you move on, adults about it. But when
Mm-hmm.
you're broken and you don't love yourself and you meet someone else and you're just sitting home and they become your whole world, you know, and you're living in their world, and then they start to show another side of them, you don't want to go back to Mr. Lonely. So you'll put up with any and everything.
Right.
And they know that and they take advantage of it.
Mm-hmm.
These women, or most women, need to do their homework before they start seeing the man. You can't call at night, visit him, random calls, certain times, it's certain patterns. Us as men, when we do things good and we do things bad, there's a pattern. All you have to do is watch our pattern and our action explain anything. Everyone that
Mm-hmm.
I give advice to far as a woman, you never believe anything a man says. You watch his actions and that'll tell you everything. And then you decide if you're going to invest more time or get in and get out. But it's just really, really sad. This is an ongoing thing, and it entangles not two people from a broken relationship, but three. And then she was talking about bringing a fourth person in just to get with them to get over it. It's crazy. It comes back to what you're saying. Them learning to love themselves.
Right.
It all starts from the beginning. When you meet somebody and you talk with them and you're starting to get to know them, you do not know them whatsoever. You don't know what their intentions are. All you see is a muffled smile or whatever it may be. You
Mm-hmm.
have to understand that you don't know this man's intention. That's why I tell girls, do not tell men about your ex because you don't know him. If you were used, taken advantage of, abused, or whatever, he sits up and records that. And now he knows, hey, you crossed the line one time, you'll do it again. Your ex is your ex for a reason. Do
Right.
your homework. Ask the hard questions for him, like an interview. And if he doesn't stick around, it wasn't worth your time. And then you kind of like weeded the problem out. But when it comes to men messing around and playing games and luring you in, it's
Mm-hmm.
just like the devil. It's called bait and switch. All you do is, you distract something else and show you something else to turn around and lure you in hopes that your heart will get entangled and caught up. And by the time you find out the truth, the damage is done.
Right.
And every time you try to come to them, they have everything to say. What was sad about her situation is he doesn't have to say anything wrong. She's going to defend him in every single way and everybody that comes the way. And it's just sad. It's really sad. So that's all I wanted to say. I don't want to hold you up too much. You're doing a good job. I love you, Queen. I
Thank,
appreciate your show.
thank you so much.
You take care. Have a blessing.
You too. Bye bye. He was on point. He was definitely on point. We can just so like learn from each other. I promise. Like I get those kind of situations a lot in my email. Like a lot, a lot. I hope some of the people that email me call in. Some of the people I can't get to, but I get that situation a lot. Some people know, the person was married, and some people don't know. So it'd be a lot. But I've seen a lot of people calling in, call back in. The line is opened up. Um, Life lesson said, as a man, I'm taking some time these days for me. I didn't know me then. I'm learning who I am, loving me more. When I know me, I will love the other pronouns. Yeah, I feel that though. You have to love you. It's important. And people that don't love themselves end up in those kind of situations because they are looking for someone to hire to love them for them. No, you have to love you, period, point blank. You can't go and hire somebody to love you. It doesn't work like that. Hello, caller. Hello?
Hello?
Caller, you have to turn me off. However you listening to me, you have to turn me off.
Hello?
I'm here, I can hear you, but however you're listening to me, you have to cut it off. Okay. It's okay. People don't follow directions. But yeah, you have to love yourself or you won't be in a crazy situation like that. So if you were trying to call in, the line is opened up now. You can call in and get through. Make sure before y'all call in that however you're listening to me, you cut me off because I can hear me in the background. We all can hear me in the background. So you have to cut that off so I'll be able to hear you. Okay. Crystal said, well, dang. Yeah, I mean, I was trying to explain it, Crystal. I don't know. People don't listen. I know people don't listen. They don't comprehend. But okay. Hello, caller.
How you doing, sis? This is Stephen Israel for Charlotte. How are you?
Hi, I seen it. Shout out to Charlotte, the Queen City.
Listen, I want to speak on a sister that just called in, and I think a lot of times we blame other people. Men blame women, women blame men. I think what her issue is she's out of order. She doesn't need to heal. She needs to put herself in order. Because if she was in order, she wouldn't have made the mistake of getting with a married man. And what she's trying to do with the second guy, she's trying to monkey branch from issue to issue. She needs to stop, put herself in order.
Mm-hmm.
And this, I told you this a couple of years ago when we talked.
Uh-huh.
Love is action. We talk about love oftentimes as feelings or emotions, but love is action.
Mm-hmm.
And we got to be specific that we're telling what actions that they need to take.
Right.
And that's what I heard with her, and I talk to people on my channel often, a lot of women with these similar issues over the years. I've been getting those type of calls, and it's a lot of emotionalism, especially when they start putting sex into the equation. The sex is good. But so I'm going to be blinded, and I know this situation isn't good for me, but I want to keep having sex with this guy. That's really what I heard.
Right.
That's what I heard, and unfortunately. But she got it. I'm sorry, Dad.
I said, that's what you heard?
Yeah, that's what I heard. I mean, I hear it all the time.
Yeah.
First of all, and then the lies. I mean, the guy, she's trying to justify it. She said something about, they're going to mediation. That's why he didn't file for divorce. You got to file for. I was married 20 years before I got divorced. I know this process well. You got to file the divorce first, and then that's the thing you're mediating.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the lawyers are sitting down discussing. How are we going to figure this divorce out? Otherwise, what do you mediate? Nothing.
Right. That's true.
You go to marriage counseling first before you file, and then if that falls apart, but once you start talking about lawyers and stuff, lawyers act on motion. So it has to be a motion for divorce filed. Judges particularly prefer that the two parties come to some kind of resolution together first.
Right.
Bring it to me, and I'm gonna sign off one. That's the way it works. So that nonsense that he told her, he's just stringing her along because he wants to keep having sex with her too, obviously. But like you said to her, you gave her some good advice. People get back together. Me and my wife were separated years, at least 10 years of the 20 we spent separated, going back and forth. You know what I mean? But like you said, you can't marry, you can't be with somebody else's husband. That's not the way it's.
Yeah, you can.
Legally,
it's reality. Legally. Like, what you gonna do?
You open yourself up for all kind of stuff.
Right.
Like here in North Carolina, you can be sued.
Yeah.
That you broke up a happy marriage.
I've had to tell so many people that I've seen a situation where a woman was with a whole different man, baby. And her husband, they were separated for a few years and the husband moved on. She sued his girlfriend.
Yeah.
Mind you, she had a man. They have not been together. She sued his girlfriend. It was just like malicious, but it's like, don't even put yourself in a situation. I tell when people reach out to me, I say absolutely not. You opening up a whole can of worms. That's a whole can of worms you opening up. But in all actuality, like I said, God is not going to bless you with someone else's husband. And I tell people all the time, he didn't promise you that. You can't sit up here and tell me he promised you somebody else's husband.
No, not at all.
I don't believe it.
God specifically commanded the woman to be continually with a godly man. So if you following that, you're not going to wind up with somebody else's husband. Right. But before you even get into that position, God also told us all, you got to come to order. You got to get in behavior first. And we learn this in kindergarten. What's the very first thing they teach us in kindergarten? How to behave in the classroom. Before they start teaching, this is how you're going to operate here in this space. You get in first grade, second grade, all the way up to high school. Before they start teaching, here are the rules.
Yeah.
When you go get a job, same thing. Very first day one at the job, they're going to hand you that code of conduct, the employee's handbook. Everywhere we go, we learn this, but except for when we get in our relationships, we all of a sudden we throw the rules out the window. We don't want to follow the rules no more because we like the sex, and we make excuses for what we already want to do.
That's true. I really didn't care for her saying, men do it all the time. That was like, wow.
Oh yeah. That's when you said it made me cringe. I think we both cringed at the same time. I'm in the kitchen cooking a roast, and I had to come out of the kitchen when I heard that. So what the heck is going on? She said, what? But that's the thing. It's like, so now you're paying back some past men or man, or you're going to pay them back by doing it to this new dude. We ain't doing it to the current dude she's with. She's going to do that to the new dude who's the good guy.
Right, but that doesn't work because it's like, look what type of situation you in. It's not working for you. It's not. Well,
that's
working.
The monkey branch, and they want to hold on to one thing. They want to hold on to two branches. Don't want to let the old guy go. I grab onto the new guy. I want to make sure he's good. He's going to work for me before I let go of the other one completely. We got to stop doing that. And we all do it. That's a men and women issue. We do that.
Right. Yeah, we do.
Sometimes you got to let go, get yourself in order.
Right.
It ain't healing because this is a dysfunction. And we got to stop using these mental health jargons and stuff and applying it. Call it what it is. It's dysfunction. That's what it is. It's foolish and dysfunction.
I do.
And we got to stop doing it.
I do think that she's a little broken in some areas. I'm not saying we all haven't been broken, but That's the first thing I ask people when they hit me up. Do you know your worth? And a lot of people are like, you know what? I'm gonna be honest, I don't. That's a problem. Because if you knew your worth, you wouldn't be in that type of situation. Let's just be real about it and be honest.
Well, I think it's not a thing of knowing your work or seeing that. I think she sees herself as overly valuable. I deserve what I want no matter what.
How does she see herself as overly valuable?
What she wants no matter what. I'm gonna throw all of the rules out because this is what I want.
So you want somebody else's husband? So she basically wants somebody else's husband?
She doesn't she's ignoring the fact that it's his husband. I want that specific man for whatever reason, and I don't care what I got to do.
I see where you're coming from. But what I'm saying? I see where you're coming from with what you're saying. But it's still a problem of her not knowing her worth as a person. I don't think she overly knows her worth. If she overly knows her worth, she'd have been like, no.
We're applying our own morals and value systems to everybody. I think she's made her own value system, and her value system is telling her what I want is the most important thing. See, in our value system, we're going to say God is most important.
That's true.
That's our value system. But her value system is her. I don't care.
I can agree with that part. I can agree with that part. I can agree with that because like I said, I'm the type of person, and I'm gonna look at a situation and I'm gonna be like, first of all, would I want someone to do that to me? That's how I evaluate things. Do I want this done to me? You see what I'm saying? Exactly.
We put God first. Right. That's all coming from the Bible, but we talking about a person who's putting their self on the top of the hierarchy.
Right. And not even looking at,
don't care about nothing else matters. I want what I want.
Okay,
no matter who I gotta hurt, what I gotta do, what branches I got to climb on. I'm gonna hurt this other guy to get what I need out of him.
Yeah. From that standpoint,
it's kind of funny. I was listening to Didi earlier was saying something similar about the women who use men to get meals and food and all. It's the same thing. I want this meal, so I don't care what I gotta do. I don't care if this guy gotta spend his whole check to take me to Ruth Chris. That's what I want.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Same thing.
You're right. Mm-hmm. You're right. And to me, can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I muted you. I'm good.
It's okay.
Yeah,
both. I mean,
but men do it too. They do the thing with the I want this sex from this woman, and I don't care at any consequence or any means. I'm gonna say what I gotta say to her to make her to manipulate her to do what I want her to do. So I'm gonna tell her enough to keep her lingering around. This is the guy I'm talking about. I'm gonna tell her. Well, he didn't tell her at first. She said, you asked her, was he truthful with you? Sort of, kind of, no. It's a yes or no. It's either he told you the truth or he didn't. Sort of, kind of, is what she said, something to that effect. I heard that too.
Yeah.
No, did he tell you the truth? We go back to the Amber Heard, Johnny Depp. Did you pledge or did you know it? Same kind of thing, playing word games.
That's so.
I'm telling you,
that's true.
No, he did.
That's true.
No, he did.
You know what? I'm so glad you brought that up because so everybody heard about the Martin reunion, right?
Okay.
Did it come on already? I don't know if it came on already. If it did, I didn't get to watch it. Right? So they brought up how Tisha Campbell alleged that Martin was
there's some things to it back in the day. That's why the show broke up.
Yeah, they were sexual harassment.
Mm-hmm.
I was confused, and correct me, everybody, if I'm wrong, right? She was asked about that on an interview, and totally bypassed that. And what you said made sense. Like, did he do it or didn't he do it?
Because we play word games, and we do it all the time. Where we're making words mean what we want them to mean. I can't remember. I can't even tell you how many videos I've done on this topic. Words mean what they mean.
Mm-hmm.
We can't make words independent. Independent doesn't mean self-sufficient. Independent means free from authority. But when you let people tell you what independent means, what do they say? Oh, I got my own this, I got my own car, I do this, I can take care of myself. Congratulations, you're a self-sufficient adult.
Right.
But that's not independent. We all got to answer to somebody. You're never free from authority.
Right. I mean,
but we play word games.
Right. And in that situation, she was just like, because I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. If I'm in a situation with somebody and they were sexually harassing me, I don't really think I want to be around that person again. If the show was ended because he was sexually harassing you, why did you come back to do a reunion?
We got to be careful with that word. I mean,
what, sexual harassment?
Just harassment, period.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that.
It's such, like, even again, going back to the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial, because he said certain things to her. Oh, he was abusive. Wait a minute, what?
You're right. You're absolutely right.
So anything can just be. I remember I was working at a company. I'm retired now, but I was working for a company. I worked for corporate America 30 years. I was working at a company. I was working with a young lady, and she passed me in the hallway and stopped me and said, "Oh, that's a nice shirt on you." And she put her hand on my chest. They like touched the shirt. That color looks good on you. And I thought about it. I went back to my desk and I was like, I was just fondled. You know, like I just got harassed. Like technically, I could have took her to HR and said, "Hey, this woman just." I mean, imagine if I did that to her. If I walked up to her and said, "Oh, that shirt looks nice on you," and rubbed my hand on her chest, would that have been acceptable?
No, absolutely not.
But that's harassment.
Absolutely
both
not.
ways.
It is, but this is what I'm getting to with this, because when you brought up Johnny Depp and that whole situation, and I heard Tisha Campbell talking about, they were like, well, I forget what show she was on, but they were asking her, about the sexual harassment. She just dismissed it, like, you know what, we got past that, and hold up. She never answered if he did it or not, right?
Right.
But you just bypassed that whole thing and was like, we got past that. It made me feel like in my spirit, and I'm just being real, that it was not true.
And it's the action, and I got to be careful with Tisha Campbell, because I grew up with a couple of her cousins. I don't need to get no phone calls, but it's just the accusation. Nothing has to be founded, and the accusation alone or the implication can destroy a man.
Absolutely.
And that's in that book. There's a book on Amazon, How to Destroy a Man. That's one of the chapters. Making the accusation. It's crazy. But I'm like you. Like, I've counseled a lot of people who've been in different, IPVs and things of that nature. People I genuinely were convinced that they went through that situation do not want to be anywhere near the person who did it to them.
Right. That's the that's what you would think. They don't want to be in the same room. This really upset me. They really said some things out the way. It just made me feel like he never did anything. That's just how it made me feel. And that happens so much, in our communities, where people harassment is taken out of context. You see what I'm saying?
Well, I think it's not even just out of context. I think it's used as a proxy. I think it's purposeful, and it's being used in a lot of cases, in many cases, as a proxy to exert force or leverage for whatever reason against somebody else.
Yeah.
That's what's sad about it.
Yeah, I was going to say, I agree with that.
I mean, if it was accidental, I thought this person, just like the girl I mentioned that touched my chest, I'm sure she was, she had never said nothing to me out of the way, nothing. I'm sure it was harmless. But I could have took that and ran with her and destroyed her career.
Right, you could have.
Over something that was accidental.
She would have did it to you. I'm not saying you should have did it to her, but she would have did it to you. One more scenario I want to throw out there. I just want to kind of put that out there. But there was another scenario where I sat back and I watched a situation. I watched a situation where a younger girl accused a man of, raping her. And the man, went to jail, everything like that. So the girl then came out and said that he did not do it. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I was wondering why people still embraced her.
Mm-hmm.
Because let's think about it. Um I was like seeing how her family was embracing her. And I'm like, how can they embrace her when she told such a vicious lie? It was vicious. It really was. It was a vicious lie.
Well,
And
that's what we saw change with Johnny Depp. The paradigm started that moment when that verdict was read. I was looking at Amber's face, and that's when the paradigm shift came. Right at that moment, the pendulum started swinging the opposite way, back towards balance, because we've been living in this environment of believe all women, no matter what.
Right.
No matter what.
That's true. Believe
all women. Even no matter how outlandish or crazy, and even right now, her lawyer is running around on TV, and she's doing Dateline, still doubling and tripling, quadrupling down on, I didn't do it, he did it. She's opening herself up for another defamation suit.
Yeah.
All she got to do is just shut up.
Yeah, and it's going to keep on.
You had your day in court. She's saying it wasn't fair. See, what it is they believe the outcome is supposed to be fair. But that's not the way it works. It's the opportunity that's fair. You both had a fair opportunity to go in court and present your case.
Yeah.
He did, you did, had the same amount of time, you lost. But she wants a guaranteed result.
Right.
And you see it a lot of times, people want, that's when they say, oh, it's not fair. Because they're talking about the result. But the results are never fair. Your opportunities are fair. It's a fair opportunity. You both had this equal chance to tell your story. We didn't believe it. She's blaming social media. And we didn't believe you because you lied.
Right.
And if you lied about one thing, what else what I find interesting about Amber Heard, her first movie, I believe it's her first movie, was based on a book called Syrup. And the name of the movie is also called Syrup. And the very opening scene of that movie, she talks, she makes her character as a marketing expert, and that's what the movie's based on, branding and marketing. And that opening line in the movie is perception is reality. That's what she believes. She wasn't acting in that movie. I encourage everybody, all your viewers, to go back and watch that movie. That is who she is.
I believe
that character in the movie, she was playing herself.
I believe that, but I also feel like she didn't think it was fair because you had to face the lies you told. That's why people, a lot of people.
No, she's not even acknowledging she lied. What she's saying is not fair is the reactions of everybody. Oh, everybody loved him and they didn't love me. And what is interesting, and Emily Baker has made this comment. She said Amber wants everybody to see the humanity in her, but she wants everybody to see Johnny Depp as a character. Johnny Depp is not human. He's only a character. He's Captain Jack Sparrow, or he's Edward Scissorhands. She never refers to him as a person, as her husband.
Right.
He's a character. I find that so interesting. Every time she talks, she makes it a point to associate him with one of the characters he played.
Yeah, that was weird. I didn't watch the whole thing. I seen, women holding her accountable, like they were outside of that courthouse, saying
Camille
things to her.
When they did the cross, it was amazing. I mean, Camille Vasquez was like Johnny Cochran during the OJ trial. It was amazing.
I have to watch it. I'm gonna go back and watch the whole thing.
Go back and watch it on the lead attorney's channel. I mean, he did a great thing on it.
Okay.
He covered it great. Shout out to the lead attorney. But man.
Okay. I'm a definitely.
Camille Vasquez. They had to make the girl partner after the trial because she was so good.
Yeah,
her law firm made her a partner. It was fantastic, and She showed up. She was bad, man. She showed up with her white suit on, like Queen in the South. Because
Mm-hmm.
she's a Mexican. She had a Queen in the South suit on. I said, this girl ain't playing, man.
Right.
This girl means business.
Absolutely. But thank you for calling in. Let me get some more people
Yeah,
in
you know
here.
me and you will talk forever. I'll talk to you again, sweetie.
Okay. Have a good evening. Thank
You doing okay? Remember I asked before, you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm
All
okay.
right.
Thank you.
All right. I'll see you soon. All right,
Okay.
later.
Bye. I know we get in such in-depth conversations with people. I know. Okay, so the line is free if anybody else wants to call in. I know people are trying to get in. I am going to limit it though. I am going to limit it. I have to so I can get as many people in because we're at like 150 missed calls right now, and I'm gonna try to limit it to like 3-4 minutes a person. Okay, but I know Godson, don't laugh at me. I just like to have real conversations with people, and we kind of go over, and that's okay. That's okay. Yeah, I just thought about stuff like that. I don't know. I'm a thinker. So I just kind of thought about that whole Martin thing. Like if he did it, why you want to be around him? That's a problem in our community. That's a problem. It's like that's what people go for. And then another thing I want to point out is like it makes it hard for the things that it makes it hard for the people it really happened to. Hello, caller.
Hey, how
Hello.
you doing?
Hey, I'm good. And you? Do you have a question for me tonight?
Well, I kind of actually called in about the young lady that was talking earlier.
Okay.
And I wanted to tell her because the thing is, I was listening to her.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse to
Okay.
do what she's doing.
Okay.
And as a man,
Mm-hmm.
she needs to understand that this man is steady going to do what he's going to do. He's steady going to tell her whatever she wants to hear.
Right.
He's not going to leave his wife. And if he is, he has someone else outside of her. She needs to know her self-worth.
I agree.
She really needs to go to God and go to God honestly, wholeheartedly. She needs to humble herself to God herself.
Mm-hmm.
Because to go around playing with another man's heart,
Mm-hmm.
especially after she said about her husband marrying someone else,
Mm-hmm.
but he didn't start dating the young lady till they were actually in their divorce.
Mm-hmm.
But he was a real man about it because he ended up marrying her. So my thing is, what is it that you did for him to walk away from you? What games were you playing? What was your part in it? We always want to blame someone else when they're not there to defend themselves.
Right.
Because now you're doing what you claim this woman did to you to this man's wife.
Wow.
So at the same time, what part are you playing? Because if you've been dealing with this man for 6 months, come on now, 6 months,
Right.
and you still not sure of what he's going to do, and he's still telling you something about arbitration or something, come on now.
Yeah. I mean, you're right.
You knew that was a lie from the get-go. But she's doing what she want to do out of lust, not love. She needs to stop putting her heart in it because her heart is not in it. She's lusting just as well as he is.
Yeah. And
there's a difference.
Right. In those situations, like I tell people, good doesn't come out of that. And people gotta realize that good does not come out of it. It doesn't. When it's the wrong intentions involved, it just doesn't. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
And no, I was just saying you're definitely right. Because for one, how can you put God in anything? Because God is not a confusion. He's not messy. Only the enemy is messy.
Right. Exactly. Yep. You're right.
Now she would have said that the devil or Satan or whoever got her doing this, then I would feel that. But don't ever use God for an excuse to do what you're doing. And that's what it seemed like she's doing. I think what she wanted from you was verification that it was okay. But I listened to you. I'm like, I'm glad you did what you did and
Oh
said the things you
no.
said.
Oh no, I'm not agreeing with that mess. Mm,
And I mean, I might have been a little mean with some of the things I was saying, but they were true. I mean, I typed quite a bit.
right. Well, I didn't catch
And
him, but okay.
I don't know if you read them or not, but it was like, okay, are you really not knowing your worth as a woman?
Yeah, no, I didn't see it. I
But
think I
that's
think
all I
she
really
really
wanted to say was, just talk about that because I really, I mean, I have sisters, I have daughters,
hmm
and I teach them. And the thing is, the book that Steve Harvey wrote, I could have been wrote like 20 years ago.
hmm
I just didn't know how to go about creating it and doing it because
right.
those are the things that I actually taught my daughters
hmm That's good. That's
for them
awesome.
to understand and see. And I try to set that example for them, especially with my wife, so they can see what a man's supposed to do. And I treat them as my princesses. And I actually treat my sons as my prince
hmm
because I want them to mimic me.
Right.
And
Absolutely.
so far, I've been blessed.
That's great. That's awesome. Thank you though for calling
All
in and
right.
putting in your 2 cents.
But I enjoy your show, so keep up the good work.
Thank
It's
you.
awesome.
And thank you for calling in and watching.
All right, you have a blessed night.
You too. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Does anybody have any more questions? Because I think everybody's gonna call it way in the worst situation, which that's cool. That's cool. Um, but I know that I know y'all got some questions. I know y'all do, because my inbox be flooded, my email be flooded. I know y'all have some questions. So I'm waiting on the next question. I mean, it got interesting from the beginning. It really, really did. Mrs. Correct Lust not up. Yeah. Whew. I think everybody wants to give it to her. Everybody. hmm But that's good. I hope she's reading the comments. I hope she's listening to the feedback. Because sometimes that's what you need. You need that real. You know what I mean? There's too many people that want somebody to be fake with them or want somebody to agree with what they're doing. No, that's not how you're supposed to do it. That's not how you're supposed to do it. No. So I'm just waiting on the next call. Unless somebody wants to put their questions in the comments. I'm waiting. Hmm. Mm. Crystal says she probably left the chat. She might have. It's hard for some people to face those kind of things. It shouldn't be when you want to grow, but some people, they don't, like when I was telling her, like, I'm just being real with you, you're messy, that's messy. People can't accept that. They can't accept things like that. Yeah. Yep. The line is open. I mean, if nobody else has a question, I'll end the show, you know, and y'all have a good evening. The way to reach people. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm gonna give it like a minute or two, see if we get another call, another question. I don't know. It'd be a little bit weird. Like people will always um hit me up with all types of questions. That's why I wanted to try to start this segment. But that's why I'm trying that out, just to see if it's like a good thing to add, for people to be able to ask. Got a next call. Hello, caller. How are you? Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Hello? Can you hear? Okay. Dante, you can't run away from yourself because everywhere there you are. Dante, you better tell the truth. You cannot. You cannot. Like, it's plenty of times I had to swallow a big pill, but I'm glad I did because it's growth and it's me being a better me. It's a life lesson. It is. It definitely is. Well, I'm gonna see if this person calls back. Um, but y'all wanna tell me some topics that y'all want to talk about. Tell me some topics y'all want to talk about. Tell me if y'all feel like Q&A is a good thing. I know a lot of people will like talk in the comments, but they won't call in, um, and say whatever it is that they need to say. So, what? Who deserves 10 husbands? Lonnie, we ain't doing that. Hello, caller. How are you?
I'm doing.
I'm good, and you?
Yeah,
Do you do you have a question?
yeah, I have a question. I got a question. When it comes to men and women and relationships as well,
Hold on, we can't hear you. It's a little loud. Okay.
I'm gonna call like that.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, when y'all call in, you have to make sure that it's quiet, or we can't hear you. Um, but um, I'm gonna answer that question. So thank you, Crystal. So when did you know it was your calling to speak up for black men? So I would say it was after my season of singleness. And I just seen a lot of the things that black men were going through. And I seen a lot of wrong that was going on. I seen the double standard, and I just felt like, I'm gonna start speaking up about it. I'm gonna start talking about it. You know what I mean? Because these are the conversations that, we need to have. I think a lot of situations when it came to black men were put in my face, because it was always my purpose, to speak up. What better than a black woman to, speak up for a black man, the black community, the black woman, things like that. So I think, that's when it started, and I'm glad because I think that little by little and day by day we're getting better. We're getting better. Women are understanding. I promise you. They're telling me, they're becoming better women. They're becoming better wives. They are. Even black men, are saying that they're becoming better. They're learning, they're growing, they're healing. And that's what it's about. That's what it is about. I'm glad that, yeah, this just in her car, Crystal. I'm glad that y'all joined me, on this little test run of Q&A. I thought this would kind of help because I'm not able to answer every message. I'm not able to answer every email. So I thought that this would be a solution to me not being able to answer all of that. So I thought I would put together a Q&A. Like I said, my whole brand will be revamped in August. We'll still talk about the same things, just on a greater platform in a greater way. I'm excited about that. And that's really it. I'm gonna close down the phone lines. And I thought those people, I had so many missed calls. I thought the people would, call back and, keep trying. But I'm gonna close down, the phone lines, and I thank y'all. You know, Crystal, I love that. Ladies, please stop talking bad about black men around white people. They feed off that. They absolutely do. They love it, basically. Um, thank y'all for joining me tonight with this test run. I'm going to try different things to see how I can, make this platform better, you know, um, bigger, better. We're learning, we're healing, things like that. So, thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But thank you, to the people that called in, and thank y'all for the people that was commenting. And y'all have a great night.